Ferragosto in Italy. Imagine yourself in a sun-drenched piazza in mid-August. Church bells ring out, the smell of roasting meat fills the air, and a crowd gathers, some in traditional dress, others perhaps in swimsuits straight from the beach. It's Ferragosto, Italy's most cherished summer holiday, a tradition with roots stretching back more than 2,000 years. Ferragosto began in 18 BC when Emperor Augustus created the Feriae Augusti, literally the August rest. It was a day set aside to give workers and animals a break after the long harvest season. It also linked together other August festivals, creating an extended holiday period across the empire. In ancient Rome, the celebrations were lively. Horse races were held in cities and towns, and oxen, donkeys, and mules were released from their duties and decorated with flowers. Workers would wish their employers Buon Ferragosto and in return often would receive a summer bonus. This custom became so ingrained that it eventually was made compulsory in parts of Italy during the Renaissance. Some of these ancient traditions are still alive today, like the famous Palio dell'Assunta in Siena on August 16th. Where bareback riders race for the honor of their contrada, and the prize is a piece of beautifully painted fabric, much like in Roman times. Fast forward to the 1920s, and Ferragosto took on a new twist under Mussolini's regime. The government launched Treni Popolari di Ferragosto, the People's Ferragosto trains, cheap excursions that allowed the working-class Italians to travel to the seaside, mountains, or the cultural cities. These trips didn't include meals or lodging, so people packed their own lunches. This is one reason why picnics and barbecues are so closely tied to the holiday today. During the early medieval period, the Catholic Church moved Ferragosto from August 1st to August 15th, aligning it with the Feast of the Assumption of Mary, or Santa Maria Assunta. This is one of the most important Marian feasts in the church calendar, celebrating the belief that Mary was taken up into heaven, body and soul. Today, Ferragosto is both a public holiday and a holy day of obligation. In the morning, many Italians attend Mass or join processions carrying a statue of Mary through the streets. In coastal towns, the statue is sometimes placed on a decorated fishing boat and carried along the shore to bless the sea and those who work on it. Ferragosto is also often connected with other patron saints' festivals. In many towns, the patron saint feast creates a double celebration. For example, in Ferentino, the day is tied with Sant'Ambrogio, with a mass and celebrations in the streets, as well as fireworks. In Sartiano, Ferragosto is the day of the Giostra del Saracino. It's a medieval joust where knights on horseback try to strike a target while the crowd cheers them on. In Fermo, the Cavalcata d'Assunta brings a grand medieval parade and horse race in the honor of the Virgin Mary. And in Messina, the Vara procession sees hundreds of barefoot devotees pull a massive float over 15 meters tall through the city, one of the most powerful sights in southern Italy. Ferragosto is a national public holiday in Italy, and here's what you can expect if you're in Italy on the 15th. You may see some businesses close for the day or even the week. Major cities like Rome, Milan, and Florence can feel a bit deserted because the citizens have fled the city, but coastal towns are often packed. Highways are busy, trains are full, and so are flights as Italians head to the seaside, lakes, mountains, or other countries. Lunch is the centerpiece of the day, and families gather outdoors for grilled meats, pasta salads, eggplant, parmesan, seafood, fresh fruit, and plenty of wine. Watermelon is a classic Ferragosto dessert. About half of Italians head to the beach for swimming, music, and parties. Others escape the heat to the Alps or the Dolomites or the Apennines for hiking, water, and picnics. Across the country, you'll find sagre, concerts, parades, and spectacular fireworks displays lighting up the summer night. Top 5 Ferragosto and Assunta celebrations start with Ursina, the Festival of St. Roch. This 3-day celebration starts on August 15th with altars, traditional dances, and a special treat fried, of course, called I Petti. In Fermo, the Cavalcata d'Assunta is a dazzling medieval parade followed by a thrilling horse race in the piazza. In Sartiano, there's the Giostra, a medieval joust where costume knights compete for glory. In Siena, there's the famous Palio dell'Assunta on August 16th. It's one of the world's most famous horse races held in the honor of the Assumption of Mary. And the #1 festival is in Messina. It's called the Vara. The Vara is a monumental pyramid-shaped votive float dedicated to the Assumption of Mary for the Festa di Santa Maria Assunta. It makes its way through Messina every August 15th and stands about 15 meters high. It's a spectacular religious symbol and also a piece of civic pride. The float consists of multiple tiers mounted on sleds. The first tier features the Virgin Mary surrounded by apostles. The middle tier dramatizes the heavens depicted with clouds, the sun, the moon, and at the top, the celestial globe filled with stars crowns the design, often topped with a statue of Jesus. The Vara traces its history back to 1535, dating to a triumphal cart used to greet Emperor Charles V during his visit to Messina. Over time, it evolved into the grand processional machine that we see today. As dawn breaks on the 15th, the Vara is assembled in Piazza Castronovo, beginning with the base, the rigging, and the ropes, carefully attached. The ropes are handled by hundreds of barefoot faithful dressed in white with light blue sashes, sometimes carrying symbolic elements like scarves or small icons of Mary. The ceremonial firing of the cannon signals the assembly's completion, followed by the emotional Viva Maria cry as the float begins its slow, rhythmic move in the procession. The Vara travels along the Via Garibaldi, crossing the lava-stone streets, smoothly greased and cooled with water. The route continues through the Via Primo Settembre, culminating at the majestic Piazza Duomo. The dramatic moment comes during the Giurato when the float makes a careful turn onto Via Settembre, viewed as a sign of what the coming year may hold. At the end of its journey, the Vara halts before Piazza Duomo, where priests conduct concluding blessings. Thousands of faithful rush forward to retrieve pieces of the rope believed to possess protective or even magical properties, and they bring those home. The day concludes with a dazzling fireworks display from the waterfront, lighting up the straits and the facade of the cathedral. The Vara is a powerful symbol of faith, devotion, and communal identity and has been maintained through the centuries. There's some elaborate craftsmanship that Messina can certainly be proud of. The procession also integrates local mythology like the legendary giants Matta and Grifone who precede the Vara during the celebrations. In closing, Ferragosto is more than just a holiday. It's a living link between ancient Rome, the Catholic Church, and modern Italian life. It's the joy of summer, the beauty of tradition, and the warmth of community, all rolled into one. Whether you're watching the fireworks over the Amalfi Coast, standing in Siena's Piazza del Campo for the Palio, or sharing a picnic in the mountains, Ferragosto is an invitation to experience Italy at its most festive and most heartfelt. I hope you'll enjoy your Ferragosto.